start the meeting, please? Roll call, Sean?
Mr. Bruno, Mrs. Cappiello, Mrs. Fankhauser, Mrs. Lavin,
Yes.
Mr. Messinger,
Yes.
Mr. Moses, Mrs. Sutera,
Yes.
Mr. Essex.
Yes. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this meeting notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press on April 18, 2019, and has been duly advertised in the Asbury Park Press issue of April 22nd, 2019. All municipal clerks of the townships and boroughs within the regional high school district have been duly notified, and the requirements of postings of notices have been met on April 18, 2019. Could everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this point, I'm going to break a little bit from the agenda, and I'd like to toss it to Mr. Sampson to make some presentations, then we'll go back to the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Asatola. So welcome everyone this evening. This is one of our 3 student recognition ceremonies that we do in the Freehold Regional High School District, and I think parents and students sit back and see sort of the broad spectrum of how our students in our district achieve, whether it's academically, athletically, in a co-curricular manner. Our district is truly second to none, and we have such a wide range of talent in the almost 11,000 students that pass through our doors. And we've kept these 3 nights each year because we think it's really important to recognize students who've really taken advantage of the opportunities that are put before them here in the Freehold Regional High School District. And for parents, I know that I've been certainly sending a lot of communication home about the school funding issue in the district and what that looks like. And obviously parents who are here this evening, you're involved in your child's education, and students have made the most of the opportunities here in this district. Can't be understated. When September comes around, there will be drastic changes in the school district. It's a $30 million cut within a 5-year period for us, which is dramatic. And to give everybody perspective, for a 10-year period, we received $51 million in state aid. At the end of this phase down from the state, which is with Senate Bill 2, that will be $18 million. So it's over a $30 million differential, and the state, S2 at least, believes that the heart of the bill is basically that you're being undertaxed, which I'm sure you all feel that you're being undertaxed. It's built on a faulty premise. The funding formula is deeply, deeply flawed. It's artificially increased what we're supposed to have an ability to pay as a school system, and quite frankly, it's going to splinter this school district in a way that is going to make a lot of the opportunities that you'll see tonight not just difficult to sustain, but fundamentally altered. And I would just impress upon the parents and the students in this room to advocate for your school system, for the opportunities that you have here. There's plenty of information on our website about your state legislators, your local officials, who supported S2, who hasn't, and questions that you can ask. The state really has not looked at the funding formula. They've not run the funding formula since 2008. We're part of a lawsuit to try and get the way in which the formula, the money is calculated, made public. I think if I came before you as a superintendent of schools and said we have a $200 million budget, but I can't tell you how we spend $180 million of it, I wouldn't be in my position for very long. And that's what we're trying to get at with the state, with the lawsuit that we're embroiled in presently. And Mr. Boyce, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Well, by way of status report to the board on budget development, December really is one of the checkpoint times in budget development. The auditor is here tonight for presentation of the financial report after awards. Also, a lot of information is submitted to the state for enrollment, busing, that kind of thing. As Dr. Sampson said, the gist of S2 is that state aid to Freehold Regional goes down 30 million and your taxes go up 30 million. That's their take on it. And we'll continue to advocate, but that's going to happen over a period of years. And just to give the board a sense of the scale, the things that we are currently building out is courtesy busing is going to be one of the areas that we take a close look at. The situation there is that anybody who lives within a 2.5 miles from the high school is not entitled to busing under the law. So that is considered courtesy busing. So so if you take a geographic 2.5 mile circle around any of our high schools and remove the transportation for those students, it's about 25% of our population, 3,000 kids. But you basically have to rebuild out all routes. We'll also be working with police departments for traffic management around the high schools, but after-school activity courtesy busing, those are certainly going to be in consideration during this transition phase from pre-S2 to post-S2. Also, athletics and activities will certainly be impacted. We're looking at contraction. We're looking at modeling out different participation fees. There's a few different ways to go about that, but we'll be reporting out to the board on that as well. And finally, academics. The other item just worth noting is that the other area of pressure financially is on infrastructure. So on the heels of back-to-back defeated referendum, one a year ago, one a month ago, we still have between $10 and $20 million, which is a significant amount in the immediate future, 3 to 5 years of infrastructure work that needs to be done. So we are looking at the alternatives there, which include a third referendum or building that into the annual budgets, which are already severely under pressure. So that would deepen that cut situation and may also accelerate some of the cuts in the upcoming years. So certainly difficult conversations to have, but we will, after the reorganization in January, be looking to provide recommendations for the best decisions that we can make, not the easiest, but the best that we can make.
Thank you, Ms. Boyce. And I would ask parents and students to follow along with those conversations, especially parents who have students who are moving into the system. This is an exceptional school system. It's an exceptional community. We live in a great place to educate children. And we've asked for some common sense things, extending the timeline, not making sure that districts don't fall off a financial cliff immediately before you realize that it's flawed legislation. And so, for scale, we were cut $2 million last year, we were cut $4 million this year, we're gonna be cut somewhere around $7 million next year, and then $7 million, and then $7 million. And it's simply not sustainable. And there's new spend on new programs across the state really shouldn't be happening when there are about 95 districts that are losing significant aid. And the argument that any district was overfunded, our aid was held flat for a decade. And so those of you who own a home, if your income or if all of your expenses were held flat for a decade, I think you would disagree with that a little bit. So there was about $9 billion in money that wasn't funded to schools over that 10 years. So everyone was underfunded, for lack of a better term. But we're getting at the premise of the funding formula to begin with, which we think is deeply flawed. When you look at our property values, they went up about 9% over a 5-year period from 2012 to 2017. But the state's determination of what you could pay went up over 50%. And the two numbers don't jive. So I'm just asking everyone who's here tonight to educate yourselves about what's happening. to take a look at the funding formula, to reach out to your legislators, and to follow along closely with what's happening in the school district. So thank you. A couple folks we want to recognize before we begin the awards and thank them for their service. January marks transition time for boards of education. You have new members who take their seat, and we have what's known as a reorganization. And we have three folks here this evening who've been longtime serving board members in some capacity, and we just want to A, recognize them and thank them for their service. And I'll call them up one at a time. First and foremost, representing Englishtown from 2009 to 2017, I'm proud to say was on the board here when I was hired 9 years ago, and was served on every committee known to humankind. Elizabeth Canario. So Liz, come on up. Next, we have Mr. Samuel Carollo. Sam was a longtime administrator in the district, retired, couldn't get enough of service, and ended up running for the Board of Education and spent almost 6 years on the Board of Ed. You know, Liz and Sam both only stepped off when they moved a couple towns over and were no longer able to hold the seats. And Sam has recently relocated, but we wanted to bring him back tonight to thank him for his service. So Sam. And third is Ms. Fankhauser, who is presently on the board, but will be stepping off in January, who couldn't be here this evening, but has been an integral part of the board for 6 years now. Serving on numerous committees and giving an inordinate amount of time, so we'd like to just publicly acknowledge Ms. Fankhauser's service. Now we get to the real reason we're here, right, to honor our students this evening. So I will call up Dr. Angelozzi from Manalapan High School.
Good evening. I would first like to thank the Board of Education, the Central Office Administration, and Mr. Sampson for honoring our students and our schools this evening. Additionally, I'd like to congratulate all of the other district medal recipients who will be honored. Now let's get started. I would first like to recognize Daniel Bainbridge. If you could come down. Daniel has reached the rank of Eagle Scouts in the Boy Scouts of America. This young man has mastered the required scouting skills, completed an array of merit badges, completed his Eagle Scout project, and has passed his Eagle Scout Board of Review. He has demonstrated leadership, self-reliance, exemplary character, and good citizenship. For his Eagle Scout project, Daniel helped in renovating the historic Village Inn in Englishtown, which was built in 1732. The bulk of Daniel's project centered on the yard, where he scraped, primed, and painted the fence, mulched, added a new display, and he assisted in realizing many additional renovations to the inn. Nice job, Dan. Next up, the National Merit Commended recipients from Manalapan High School. This includes the following students: Matus Wallach, Kaushik Prakash, Anshul Mittal. You can start coming down as I call your name, please. Joseph Deej, Kiri Gumina, Rohan Gupta, Ryan Hahn, Danielle Ordeman, and Nishad Thacker. Based on, and I'll ask everyone to please stay up here, based on PSAT selection index scores. Out of 1.6 million entrants in the PSAT National Merit Scholarship Program, these students are in a pool of approximately 34,000 students to be commended in the scholarship program. That's about the top 2% of all test takers. I'm going to ask Jabin Liang to meet them up front here. Is Jabin here? Jabin earned the distinction of semifinalist in the National Scholarship Program. Jabin was among the highest scoring entrants from New Jersey and is eligible to apply to become National Merit Finalist, which is where the money is. So, also, stay up here for a minute. I will ask Blake Wallace to please join the National Merit students. Blake. Every year, the National Merit Scholarship Program also has the National Hispanic Recognition Program, recognizing Hispanic and/or Latino students who are among the highest scorers on the PSAT nationally. The College Board's National Hispanic Recognition Program is an academic honor that can be included on college applications. Congratulations to Lake. Natus, Koshik, Jabin, Anshul, and Nishad. Please stay up here. Everybody else up front can head back to your seats, please. And will Aniket Khanna, John Parada, and Peter Wilmot please come up to join your classmates. These students are being recognized as National AP Scholars. The AP Scholar Awards recognize high school students who have demonstrated college-level achievement on AP exams. For those of you that have taken AP classes, I think this will hit home. This honor is granted to students in the United States who receive an average score of at least 4 on all P exams taken, and scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. These students in front of you have earned this distinction by the beginning of their senior year. They're not done taking AP exams. Congratulations. The only student I would ask to stay up right now is Koshik. Everyone else, please grab a seat. Koshik's legs may be getting tired, but he recently presented a paper titled Using Facial Analysis to Combat Distracted Driving in Autonomous Vehicles at the 5th Annual IEEE MIT Undergraduate Research Technology Conference. The conference allows undergraduate students from all over the world to meet, discuss, and develop solutions to advance technology for humanity. Additionally, his paper was recently published in the IEEE Explore Digital Library. Congratulations, Koshik. Okay, gotcha. So Mr. Sampson is asking you to come down, just to come down, shake hands, and then come right out in front and receive your medal. Now for a pretty cool holiday tradition that a few Manalapan High School students have been part of over the past 3 years. Will Alexa Poling please come down to the front? This 12th grade student marched in the 93rd Annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. More than 1,000 students across the nation auditioned for a chance to march as part of the Macy's Great American Marching Band, and Alexa was accepted. Alexa played the clarinet in the parade. Awesome job, Alexa. Next up, Ashni Kapadia, Grace Loftus, Kaushik Prakash, Aniket Khanna, Anshul Mittal, Justin Nguyen, and Jabin Lang. Please come down to the front. These students qualified for and attended the National Technology Student Association Conference in Maryland, where they competed in the test for engineering, aptitude, mathematics, and science, also cleverly known as teams. The students created a website, competed in a design challenge, a math competition, and a research presentation. The students won 3rd place nationally for their research presentation on robotic bees. The presentation was awesome, and they were voted crowd favorite. They also earned 4th place overall at the conference. Congratulations. Thank you. And finally, for me anyway, I would like to recognize Ayushi Shaw, Ali Gotthold, and Ella Graham for their gold medal performance at the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America Fall Conference. Ayushi won a gold medal for her caregiver carry-all. She created a babysitting bag with activities for a preschooler that were centered around Thanksgiving. And she earned a perfect score in that event. Allie and Ella took 1st place in the Cupcake Challenge. Just like on TV, the Cupcake Challenge is an event where students are given a secret ingredient and they have to bake 60 cupcakes from scratch using that ingredient. They also have to build a display to present their cupcakes to the judges, and the cupcakes are used as a fundraiser at the event. Great job to all 3 students. I will now turn the program over to Mr. Rodney Taylor, the Supervisor of Extracurricular Activities at Manalapan High School.
Thank you, Dr. Angelozzi. First, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Sampson, Central Administration, and the board for another phenomenal night. I think it's very important to emphasize what extracurricular activities and sports do to the development of the whole child here in the district. I think we do a phenomenal job with that. I have 2 students that I would like to bring down, 2 student athletes. One who I know is not here because she's under the weather is Lauren Bruno, and the other is Vincenzo Ray. Please come down. Come down, I'll just say a little bit about Lauren because she did such a phenomenal job in the fall. She was a captain on our girls soccer team who made it to the semifinals of the Central Jersey Group 4 state championship. In the 16 games, she scored 14 goals and had 12 assists. She has now committed to Monmouth University to play next year and continue her academic career. Her coach labels her as a center midfielder who was the playmaker on the team, and everything ran through her. She was nominated to the 1st team All-Division, 1st team All-Shore, and represented Manalapan High School in the Monmouth and Ocean Senior All-Star Game. Now, Mr. Rea, Vincenzo Rea, affectionately known as the Foot of Manalapan. If you know anything about football, you know that it has 3 phases to the game: offense, defense, and special teams. He was a tremendous weapon for our team this year. For extra points, he went 22 of 24, which is phenomenal in high school. And this young man is only a junior. He was also nominated to 1st team All-Shore after also making All-Division. He made 6 of 8 field goals, one of them being a 43-yarder, which was tied for the longest kick in the Shore Conference this year. He had 13 touchbacks, which means he set our defense up to make the other offense drive the length of the field each time. And he also had 7 punts that lied within the 20-yard line. Vincenzo did a great job, and we look forward to seeing what he does for us as a senior. And I'm proud to say that he represents Manalapan High School's 1st team All-Shore. Thank you. Sports was brief. I just want to say thank you. and have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. We'll now call Dr. Donahue from Colts Neck High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the administration at Colts Neck High School, I'd like to thank Dr. Sampson, the Central Administration, and the Board of Education for allowing us to recognize our talented students tonight. Additionally, I'd like to congratulate all of our district medal winners from all of our sister schools. It's truly a tremendous amount of talent in Freehold Regional. So I'm going to ask my National Merit Scholars, or National Merit Commended Scholars, to come up to the podium, as Dr. Angeluzzi described the program before. So I'd like to bring up Ella Bowen, Scott DePope, Cameron Foltz, Christian Hartman, Alexandra Henderson, and Dylan Jacobs. Just want to note, as Dylan comes up, we also honored him previously for scoring a perfect 800 on his math SAT. Awesome job, Dylan. And Ty Blitzstein. Where's Ty? Ty's not here. I don't see Ty. Okay, Ty was our National Merit semi-finalist, but he's not in attendance tonight. I'd also like to bring up Ryan Howe. Ryan? In addition to Ty, who's not here tonight, and Dylan, Ryan also scored a perfect 800 on his math SAT. Congratulations, Ryan. I would like to bring up Mr. Zwers, our Supervisor of Extracurricular Activities.
Thanks, Dr. Donahue. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Sampson and the Freehold Regional Board of Ed on another great night of student recognition. Thank you, Dr. Bleakley, Mr. Ryden, Mr. Cordero, and Marlboro for hosting and opening their building tonight. Tonight I'm going to introduce a few student athletes from Colts Neck High School that have achieved either all-shore or all-state honors, as well as a very special group of young ladies who took home another state championship this fall. So if Matt Bogdan and the girls cross-country team could all come down right now. Okay, so I'm going to start with junior Matt Bogdan of the boys cross country team. Matt was selected first team All-State in Group 3, second team All-State All Groups, first team All-Shore by Asbury Park Press and the Short Track Coaches Association. He was the Short Track Coaches Association Junior of the Year. He was first team All-County, fourth at the Short Conference meet, fifth at the Group 3 state meet, and ninth in the New Jersey Meet of Champions. Congratulations, Matt, on an outstanding. Next individual I would like to recognize, who's not here tonight, I see, but we have to talk about her, is senior Natalie Shapiro of the girls cross country team. Natalie was first team All-State Group 3, second team All-State All Groups, first team All-Shore by the Short Track Coaches Association, second team All-Shore by the APP, first team All-County. She placed first overall in the B North Divisional meet, ninth at the Short Conference meet, third at the Central Jersey Group 3 meet, and seventh in the Group 3 state meet. Congratulations, Natalie, on an outstanding season. Next individual is sophomore Lily Shapiro of the girls cross country team. Lily was first team All-State Group 3, second team All-State All Groups, first team All-Shore by both the Asbury Park Press and Short Track Coaches Association. She was the Short Track Coaches Association Sophomore of the Year. She was first team All-County. She placed first overall as an individual at the Short Conference, Monmouth County, and Central Jersey Group 3 meets. She placed second at the Group 3 state meet overall, ninth overall in the New Jersey Meet of Champions, and eighth overall in the Nike Northeast Regional. Congratulations, Lily, on an outstanding season. And now for your girls cross country team, Colts Neck, coached by Coach Jim Schlentz and Joe Likes. Coach Schlentz is with us tonight. The girls cross country team won their third straight Central Jersey Group 3 state sectional championship. They won the Shore Conference B North Division title for the 4th year in a row and 13th in school history. They placed second in the Shore Conference meet. They placed second in the Group 3 state meet, placed 5th at the Meet of Champions, and 6th at the Nike Northeast Regional. Your Colts Neck High School girls cross country team, Chloe Curtis, Lucy Gardner, Presley Mariner, Olivia Peschauer, Ariana Sakudis, Juliana Schaefer, Kavita Shah, Lily Shapiro, Natalie Shapiro, and Ava Wilmot. Congratulations, and that concludes the district medals for Colts Neck.
Thank you, Mr. George. Now I'd like to call Mr. Braverman from Howell High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Dr. Sampson said, I'm Mr. Brockman, the principal at Howell High School. I'd also like to thank the Board of Education, Dr. Sampson, Central Office, and all the parents and students who are out here this evening for all your support. First award for Howell High School goes to a Howell senior by the name of Mitch Ritter. Mitch won the Photographer of the Year award at the 2019. Mitch won the Photographer of the Year award at the 2019 All-American Film Festival, and the prize for that is probably a medal, but more importantly, a $78,000 scholarship to the Minnesota College of the Arts and Design. Congratulations. Howell High School also had some commended scholars. I'm going to name the two that are here this evening. The first National Merit Commended Scholar is Michael Murphy. Michael, come on up. And Brandon Caden. Brandon, come on up. And as Brandon's walking up, I can brag about him a little bit as well. So Brandon attended the Governor's School this summer and had the opportunity to represent Rutgers University in the 2019 MIT IEEE Undergrad Research Technology Conference. The conference hosts research teams, both graduate and undergraduate students from various universities across the world. There were 96 teams competing at the conference, and Brandon's team was one of 52 teams that was accepted. As one of the co-authors of the accepted paper, using machine learning to correlate Twitter data and weather patterns, Brandon was invited to do an 8-minute presentation at the conference at MIT in order to discuss his paper's findings with the conference attendees and professors at MIT. The research papers are set to be published in the IEEE Digital Explorer Library, a collection of over 5 million technology-related research papers. Congratulations, Brandon and Michael as well. Thank you. Next is our 2020 National Merit Scholarship candidate, and this year went to Nicole Milnes. Nicole, come on up. Next, we have some members here and also our advisor, Ms. Roses, and you can come up as well when the students come up. So we are an amazing TSA chapter at Howell High School, led by Ms. Roses. And this year we won first place in the state competition for the Junior Senior Design Challenge at TCNJ. So the following students, and Ms. Roses, would you come up? Joey Brenner, Jada Coward, Sean Hanley, Ray Liberto, Matt Walsh, and Zach Witt. Please come on up. Good. All right. Thank you very much. TSA. turn it over to Mr. Meehan, the supervisor of extracurricular activities.
Thank you, Mr. Bergman. Congratulations to all our students here. It is great that we come out here 3 times a year, let you guys show what we do year in, year out. And it's great that you bring such honor here to Freehold Regional High School District. At this time, I'd like to call up Juliana Barron, Gianna Cataldo, Megan Milet, and Isabella Ramos. These young ladies tried out for, qualified, and made it onto the New Jersey Cheerleading and Dance Coach Association 2019-20 All-State Cheer Team. Congratulations, ladies. Once again, our 2019-20 All-State Cheer Team members. Congratulations. Thank you, ladies. Is Brooke McNamara here?
Yeah, I do.
Brooke McNamara. Let's see, she's here. She told me she's here. Come on down, Brooke. Brooke is one of our gymnasts here at Howell High School. This is what happens when we sit in the back. I tell you guys when you walk in. You sit away in the back, you make that long walk up here. It's all good. Don't be. Nice job. Brooke is one of our gymnasts at Howell High School. Brooke was named first team All Shore. She was 4th in the state in gymnastics. Congratulations, Brooke. At this time, I'd like to call up Emily Huguenin and Sierra D'Amato. Sierra and Emily tried out for and made the New Jersey Rising Star Opera competition winners. Outstanding job. You guys are awesome. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to call up all the members of our 2019 All Shore Chorus at Howell High School. Please come on up. There are 25 seats to try out for. We have 24 students make it. Christian Katong, Tori Dillon, Lauren Feldman, Jake Frontera, Rachel Graffita, Lauren Holmes, Emily Huguenin, Caitlin Holm, Caitlin Hurley, Ava LaMancha, Matt Landano, David Mato, Kylie Mulvihill, Christian Natoli, Tommy Panzera, Isabella Polino, Samantha Polyhemus, Izzy Ramirez, Anthony Riello, Olivia Skrzynizhnish. I got it before, Olivia. Maya Santana, Kelly Taylor, Laura Waka, and Carolyn Weber. I give you the 2019 All Shore Chorus. Congratulations. That'll conclude Howell High School. Dr. Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Meehan. Now I'd like to call up Dr. Celso from Freehold Township High School.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Sampson, Board of Education members, colleagues, families, and students. This is a great night to celebrate all the students at the Freehold Regional High School District. And I just want to thank you also for recognizing my students here tonight. So my name is Dr. Celso. I'm the proud principal of Freehold Township High School. And first, I'd like to congratulate all the students in attendance here tonight for being recognized for their outstanding achievements. But I would be remiss if I did not thank the parents for everything that you do for the students, driving them back and forth and helping them late at night and providing our students with what they need to succeed in the high school. So thank you, families, as well. So I'd like to recognize several students who have demonstrated outstanding potential for academic success. Would the following students please come forward? Tommy Decker, Ishar Doshi, Nick Paulameni, Doug Sousa, Kylie Frew, Ryan Gibbons, Ricky Walrab, and Vita Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Freehold Township High School National Commended Scholars. So congratulations on your academic success. Thank you, congratulations. Would the following students please join me at the front? William Chin, Paul Gaynor, and Ben Shorenstein. I am proud to recognize these 3 Freehold Township High School students. They all received perfect scores on their math SAT. Congratulations. Ben, please stay up front. Thank you. So as you may already be aware, Eagle Scout is the highest achievement or rank attainable by the Boy Scouting program of the Boy Scouts of America, and Ben is just that. So he's been a scout since the first grade. His most enjoyable times with the Scouts have included camping and making everlasting memories and friendships. The Scouts have also taught Ben to be independent, responsible, and a leader. For a service project, Ben rebuilt a fence on the Monmouth battlefield where George Washington fought in the Battle of Monmouth. To accomplish this, he worked with the Monmouth Battlefield State Park to get the materials that he needed. He worked with fellow scouts and students from FRHSD to take away the weeds in the area and rebuild the fence. Altogether, it took Ben about 3/4 of a year in planning and execution to complete his Eagle Scout project. Congratulations, Ben. Nice job. Would Greg Haralampudis please come forward? Greg is also being honored here tonight for being an Eagle Scout. He started in the Scouts in 2008 as a Cub Scout and bridged over to Boy Scouts in 2013. The Scouts have helped Greg hone his leadership skills and learn life lessons as he has had time to work with his father and impart his knowledge on younger Scouts. For his Eagle Scout project, Greg helped raise awareness for AHEPA, Service Dogs for Warriors. This is a group that partners with another group, Canines for Warriors, to have service dogs trained and given to veterans suffering from PTSD. For his project, Greg created social media accounts and a slideshow to promote this initiative. Additionally, Greg worked with the Patriot Warrior Club at FTHS to help raise $5,000 for the Service Dog for Warriors. Congratulations. Would Aja Prabat please come forward? In September, our forensics team traveled to Yale University for the national competition. And while there, one of our students, Aja Prabat, won the national championship in the original oratory category. Aja followed this up by winning the Princeton University National Championship 2 weekends ago. In addition, Aja has qualified for the Tournament of Champions, which will be held at the University of Kentucky in April. Congratulations, Aja. To introduce, Mr. Bersadi, who will recognize additional Freehold Township recipients.
Thank you, Dr. Celso. I'd like to echo the sentiments of my peers and thank Dr. Sampson, the Board of Education, for holding this evening, and congratulate all of the students in attendance tonight that are being recognized. First, will the following students please come to the front? Caleb Zettel, Olivia Capello, Amy Alfuso, Sophia Friedenberg, Haley Marquin, Kelly Larkin, Joseph Patteron, Natalie Moradian,
and Piper Doherty. These students are being recognized this evening for earning All Shore Mixed Chorus honors. Out of hundreds that auditioned, these young ladies and the gentlemen that are not here but did earn the honor have made the All Shore Mixed Chorus and will earn the privilege of performing at the All Shore Mixed Chorus concert at Allentown High School in February. Congratulations. Thank you, girls. All right, will the Freehold Township Boys Varsity Soccer Team please make their way to the front? As the boys are making their way to the front, let me go over some of their accomplishments from this past season. The boys are being recognized this evening for winning the Shore Conference Tournament Championship. This complemented their A North Division Championship and is a major reason why the team finished #1 in the final Shore Conference media rankings. The team is led by newly minted Freehold Township High School Teacher of the Year, Coach Josh Mell. That's called ad-libbing, that wasn't in my script. And his assistants, Anthony Martinez and Michael Tepedino. The team members are John Wilhelm, Giancarlo Pantano, Bennett Messinger, Evan Savino, Zach Areco, Chris Finn, Connor Finn, Nico Fursick, Paul Gaynor, Brian Heinz, Connor Latona, Matt Madonna, Hector Santiago, Nick Schulman, Tyrone Shatku, Anthony Barthel, Adam Havens, Joe Lardaro, Josh Leonetti, Kevin McLean, Shane O'Malley, Aiden Zismansky, Caleb Zettel, Herman Colbert, JT Gold, Josh Hockeiser, and Christian Maharis. With the team accomplishments that we had, you're bound to have some individual accolades, so I will, as I point these out, just step forward. Shane O'Malley, Joe Lardaro, Adam Havens, and Josh Leonetti. All were named second team All-Division. Congratulations. Evan Savino. Is Evan here? Okay, Evan, step forward. What's up? First team All-Division, third team All-County, third team All-Shore. John Wilhelm. First team All-Division, second team All-County. And Bennett Messinger. Bennett was named A North Player of the Year by the coaches, first team All-Shore, first team All-County, first team All-Division, and represented the team in the conference and state senior All-Star games. Congratulations, Bennett. Now, before I send you guys back, did Zach end up making it? Zach Areco, did he make it? No? Okay. So as I send the boys back, I'll send the team back. I will talk a little bit about Zach, so congratulations, guys. Although Zach could not make it, I am going to recognize him because not only was he named first team All-Shore, first team All-County, and first team All-Division, he was named Shore Conference Player of the Year by multiple media outlets. So that was an outstanding accomplishment, and he's busy preparing for this weekend, this Friday's season opener for basketball. They had practice that just wrapped up a little while ago, so he couldn't make it over. All right, gymnastics team. You guys are used to this. Come on down. So our gymnastics team is led this evening by assistant coach Carly Sabaka. Our head coach unfortunately could not make it. She is tending to her sick son. She texted me right before I left to let me know she wasn't going to be able to make it. But the reason that our gymnasts are making their way up is that for the third year in a row, this is the #1 team in the state of New Jersey. The #1 gymnastics team in the entire state, 3 years running. So, not all of them are here, but here are the girls on the team. We have Chloe Beeman, Sophia Curley, Rachel DeSimone, Miranda D'Onofrio, Luann LeGregan, Madison Remetta, Emily Rogers, Kayla Amin, Janelle Cloud, Isabel Frank, Anna Pagliaro, Jamie Paulinette, Julia Rogers, and our senior captains, Isabella Breo, Gianna Spinelli, and Sarah Triolo. As I already mentioned, they are the #1 team in the state. They won what I'm calling the quadruple crown this year. They had a third consecutive undefeated regular season, 12-0, which secured their third consecutive A North championship. They went on to win the school's first short conference championship in about 30 years. They won their second consecutive state sectional championship. There's 3 championships. And as I said, they were the #1 team in New Jersey at the overall state meet. That's 4 championships. They're killing my budget updating these banners, but it's been awesome. Like with the boys soccer team, we had a lot of individual success. I see Janelle is here, so I'm going to ask Janelle to step forward. Janelle Cloud, as a sophomore, first team All-Shore, first team All-State, and your state sectional champion in the floor exercise. Congratulations. Julie Rogers could not be here. She made second team All-State. Jamie Pollinette could not be here. She made second team All-State and was the short conference and state sectional champion on the balance beam. But Anna Pagliaro could be here, so I'm going to ask her to step forward. Anna, first team All-Shore, first team All-State, short conference champion on the uneven bars, state sectional champion, and the best vaulter in the state. Anna Pagliaro, congratulations to you. I say it again, we'll do this again next December. Thank you, Dr. Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Brusati. Now I'd like to call up Mrs. Jewell from Freehold High School.
Just going to give the folks that are leaving just a couple seconds to get their coats, make their way out. It's a nice cozy group left here. Okay, I'm going to start with the academic achievements from Freehold High School. We had 15 National Merit Commended Scholars. I'd like to ask them to come forward, please. Harry Alex. Yeah, you've done good. 15. Harry Alex, Matthew Brancaccio, Logan Daniels, Nicholas Hom, Jonathan Hong. I checked with you guys. Where are you? Come on down. Drew Isaacson, David Kim, Andrew Lee, Thomas Lai, Joseph Lacurcio, Rajat Patel, Javon Part, Ryan Rishi, Nathan Schnitzer, and Zhu Zhu. Okay. In addition to the National Merit Commended, we had 4 National Merit semifinalists. Would you 4 come down, please? Rohan Cheney, Brian Cleary, Sophia Hush, and Laura Sun. We had 8 students at the borough with perfect SAT scores in math, and some of those individuals are here. So just take a step forward when I call your name. Brian Cleary, Jonathan Hong. I would ask Asta Kapadia to join them, please, if she's here this evening. David Kim, Andrew Lee, Nathan Schnitzer, and Zhu Zun, if they're here. Well done job to all of you. Congratulations on your academic performance. And that's it, Mr. Longo.
That's me. Joe, you can just stay there. So I just want to thank the Board of Education and Dr. Sampson for having us tonight. This is, as everyone else has already said, fantastic evening. We only have one athlete we'd like to recognize tonight, but he's one of the most humble leaders that I've ever seen come through a school. Joseph Lacurcio, he's up here already for doing some great things academically, but I'm going to recognize him for his athletic prowess in cross country. Joseph recently finished off a successful season in cross country. This year, Joe placed 5th in the state sectional meet, and he took an impressive 9th place in the state group meet, earning him an opportunity to run in the meet of champions. Joe holds the top 8 times in school history with a personal best and school record of 15:54. Joe is currently also finds himself in the top 25 all-time Freehold Regional High School District top times. Joe was recently named first team All-Shore, second team All-State All-Group, and he was also Short Track Coaches Association Athlete of the Week. A couple other things, a couple of accomplishments of Joseph's. Joe also holds the indoor and outdoor school record in the 1600, the 3200, as well as the 800 meter in spring track. And someone told me that there's probably a really good chance he'll break the 800 meter record indoor this year. And I just get the feeling that we'll be doing this again after the winter and spring seasons. Joe LaCurcio. And that's it for Freehold Borough High School. Everyone have a safe and happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Longo. Dr. Bleakley?
Good evening. Congratulations to the district medal recipients and the families from all of our sister schools. For Marlboro High School, I'll begin by recognizing our National Merit Commended students. As my colleagues have described, this is a truly select group of students. I'm very proud to have 15 students earning this distinction at Marlboro High School. I believe about half of those were able to make it tonight, so I'll call your names. Please come up and remain standing up here until all the commended students have made their way. Jeffrey Allentoff, Michael Awad, Danielle Dominguez, Alexa Friedman, Nicole Kim, Sachin Kurapati, who I don't believe was able to make it, Adam Messinger, Jillian Parrish, and Anna Polini. Congratulations to all of you, the National Merit Commended students from Marlboro High School. I don't see Haley Steinberg. She's not here, is she? But I do want to take a moment to recognize her. So as my colleagues have described, of the 50,000 commended students, 16,000 of the top scorers within that select group continue in the 2020 competition for National Merit Scholarship Awards. These are the semi-finalists. We have a student, young lady by the name of Haley Steinberg, who really wanted to be here tonight. However, she was at home tonight because at 7 p.m. she was going to learn the outcome of her early decision application to the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. So I hope she got the news that she wanted, but congratulations to Haley Steinberg on becoming a National Merit semifinalist. Do we know? Okay, we got word. This just in, Haley got in. Congratulations. Sticking with academics, we had two students that received a perfect math score on the math section of the SAT, one of whom is with us tonight, so I'll ask Jordan Moran to come on up. So to receive a perfect score of 800 on the math section, a student must get every single question correct, which is not necessarily the case with the other sections of the SAT. So that means that the student literally needs to be perfect in order to get that perfect score. So Jordan is a senior at Marlboro High School. It should come as no surprise to anyone in the room that Jordan has never received a course grade of less than an A- in her 3+ years, and she takes very challenging courses at Marlboro High School. Jordan hopes to earn acceptance to UPenn herself next year to study something in the math and science fields. When not concentrating on academics, Jordan is also involved in our JSA and Spanish clubs and dances outside of school. Congratulations, Jordan. Among the successes of the fall athletic season at Marlboro High School are two athletes that earned the distinction of All Shore. So I will first ask Diana Zuba to come on up. Diana earned first team All Shore for girls tennis. Diana is only a freshman at Marlboro High School, and so she has just completed her first season on our girls tennis team. Diana finished the season with an individual record of 20 wins and only 3 losses. In addition to being named first team All Shore, Diana also finished second in the Monmouth County tournament. Diana is also a very strong student, having made honor roll in her first marking period of her freshman year at Marlboro High School. We look forward to 3 more years of academic and athletic excellence from Diana at Marlboro High School. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to invite Max Shishkovsky. Max was named to first team All-Shore for boys soccer. Max is a senior that has been a member of the soccer program for 3 years. Coach Morris tells me that Max is a large reason for the recent team success over the past 2 seasons. Max has been a 2-year captain and scored 14 goals and 7 assists in the past season. Max earned the team MVP award this season, as well as first team All-Division, All-County, and All-Shore. Max also received the MVP award at the All-Shore Conference game. Next year, Max hopes to attend MIT. He intends to major in biological engineering and continue playing college soccer. Congratulations, Max. And that concludes the presentation of district medals from Marlboro High School. I wish everyone a very happy and safe holiday season.
Thank you, Dr. Bleakley. We'll take a 2-minute recess and get back to regular board business.
Okay, we're gonna, Mr. Brotherman, can I get your attention there, okay? Yeah? Okay, good. We'll restart the meeting. Mr. Toscano, are there any changes to the executive agenda that you wish to know?
Yes, Mr. President. Specifically on the agenda that was prepared for the public in box number 4, negotiations update. The board discussed the FREA negotiations. For box number 7, the board discussed the following 4 items. The S2 litigation update. Number 2, potential litigation against Jewel Incorporated. Number 3, docket numbers MONL 2390 and 2391. And number 4, settlement agreements number 2019-29057 and 2020-30890 as reflected on the agenda tonight.
Okay, to be clear, Jewel Incorporated has nothing to do with Mrs. Jewel from Freehold High School, because I was a little bit confused with that. So just so everybody knows, Jewel is a vaping company that a class action is being brought against. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 18th, 2019 regular minutes? Motion, please.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Sean.
Mrs. Cappiello?
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mr. Moses? Yes. Mrs. Sotera?
Yes.
Mr. Esotolo?
Yes. Communications are on file in the office of the board secretary. Now's the time for superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Esotolo. So not much to add from my opening statement, which is the sort of the crux of what we've been dealing with lately. It's all funding all the time. Happy to report that we met, Mr. Boyce and I met with the Support Our Students group this morning in Trenton and outlined a more comprehensive strategy with those 90+ districts that are also losing aid about how we're going to approach the impact of S2 moving forward and what that might look like. I don't want to be redundant with many of the points I made earlier, so I'll defer. And what I would like to do at this point in time is we have our audit presentation this evening. I know John Swisher's here, so John, if you'd like to come up, would appreciate that.
Good evening, everybody. I am John Swisher. I am a partner with Suppley Clooney & Company. We just recently concluded the audit of the district for June 30th, 2019. The results of our audit are contained in 2 reports that you should have received. The smaller of the 2 reports is the auditor's management report. That's a report that's required by the state of New Jersey, and it asks us to report on certain areas of compliance that the state deems to be important, your payroll, your purchasing, your capital assets, etc. It's also the report that you can find any comments and recommendations in. As a result of our audit, and I'm happy to report this evening that there are no comments and recommendations, which is good. The second report that you receive is the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the CAFR, and that has all the financial schedules in it. It also contains in the front the opinion on the financial statements, which is what you really hire us to do, to render an opinion on the financial statements as to whether they are free of material misstatement. That's an unmodified opinion. I'm also happy to report you have an unmodified opinion. Basically, that means that you guys can give us financial statements that are free of material misstatement. When we test the financial statements, after our testing, we're able to conclude and render an opinion. Important at this point to note that the district is, of all our 35 clients that we do for Board of Education, is the only one that prepares the entire CAFR themselves. As a great tribute to the staff of the business office, Sean, and of course Trish over there, preparing this document for us and handing it to us for audit. That's the way it's supposed to happen. And again, 35 clients that we have, you're the only one that gives us the entire CAFR, soup to nuts. I've been doing this for 30 years, and you're the only one that I've ever seen do that. So that's really great. Also in the CAFR, there's two other opinions in there. One is on internal controls and compliance. If you can imagine the state of New Jersey, we have plenty of compliance. That's a clean opinion. And finally, there's an audit on the opinion on the single audit, which relates to your federal and state programs. That opinion is also clean. So that's all good news. You've got a management report that has no comments in it, and you've got a CAFR with 3 opinions with clean opinions. But I want to take a little time here at the end to talk a little bit about your fund balance at the end of the year, and more importantly, as it goes forward prospectively. At the end of the year 2019, the district is still in solid position. But as most of you know, you vote on your budget every year, and your budget is comprised on the revenue side of a couple of major items, the taxes and the state aid. It makes up 98% of your budget. You also utilize fund balance, money that you have on hand, to help balance the budget. And obviously, as everybody knows, we're losing a lot of state aid. Over the next 7 years, we're going to lose $25 million. So if you're losing revenues, okay, your taxes can only go up 2%. A couple of things are going to happen. Okay, the fund balance that you're using year over year, that's generated by unexpended appropriations. Your budget is going to get tighter over the next few years. It's going to have to, because you've got a revenue problem, so you're going to have to address that on the appropriation side. Okay, so as we move forward, you're going to have to figure out ways to come up with other revenues. And really, there's no other options out there. So you're going to see a declining fund balance as a result. Okay, you're not going to regenerate the fund balance year over year. So the fund balance is going to go down as well. So you have a problem on your appropriation side as you move forward, as you're already aware. Mr. Boyce has put together some projections, which I've looked at, and I think are pretty reliable. I mean, it's not difficult to project revenues in a school board. You know what your taxes are going to be going forward year on year. You got about 2%, give or take a little bit. Your state aid, you know what that's going to be, or what it looks like right now. The rest of your revenues are pretty static. There's no new revenue streams coming in. Again, I think Sean's done some good work putting some numbers together, and it does not look good going forward. So again, just to reiterate, as Chuck said when he started, it's difficult times right now, particularly going forward. My report tonight is actually pretty positive. Like I said, your financial statements are in great shape. Your fund balance at June 30th, 2019 is still pretty solid, but you have some tough times ahead and some tough decisions to make. So you've had the reports, I know, just for a little bit. The report's a little bit late again this year. The state was late in getting us some of the numbers for the report. It's supposed to be due by the 5th of December. I would hope next year that we'll have it in by then. But you had the report for a little bit. Are there any questions that the board has this evening on the 2 reports that they've received? Okay, again, the reports are, especially the CAFR, is a very large report, a lot of numbers in it. As you look through it going forward, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can refer them to Chuck or to Sean, and they can get them back to me. And I can come out at any other time and then talk to the board. Beyond that, I want to thank Chuck and the office, business office staff. We're in there for the better part of a month. It's not easy. They're doing their day-to-day jobs, and we're in there trying to do the audit. And they treat us with a lot of professionalism. We get the answers that we need. We don't get blank stares, and that's always good. So again, I thank the board for the appointment. And if you have any questions at all, please refer them to Sean. I'll answer your questions. Okay?
Thank you.
John, you asked for questions, you didn't ask for comments, so I didn't say anything.
Are there any comments?
Yeah, there's a comment for me, for sure. Actually, there's a few of them. During the committee meeting we had, that we attended here, I had said to you I probably reviewed 2,000 audits. Well, I recalculated that before I came in tonight, and it's probably around 1,000 over the past 40 years. I think that it's quite notable indeed that we had no findings. And I had also asked you to comment on the state funding and the projection of our funding levels coming forth, and I'm quite satisfied with your answer there. I know that's somewhat outside of the norm for you to do a projection, but it's very critical to the district that you did, and I appreciate that. I always thank Sean Boyce for the excellent job he's done. I think the first person I spoke to with Chuck when he became superintendent was about Sean, but I want to recognize Trish Smith for the job she did in putting this document together. And I was one of those contractors, by the way, that would put documents together for housing authorities. None of them did it either, but you know, they would hire professionals to do it. So thank you so much, Trish, for helping us out there. And I want to just give the opportunity for Sean to make a few comments.
Well, I think every year I probably make similar comments, and I do appreciate you recognizing Mrs. Smith. Very professional, very talented person. We're lucky to have her. Mr. Swisher, I do appreciate your feedback throughout the course of the audit. Your team presents very well. Always a good group to work with. And throughout the course of the year, the conversations we have are always helpful, so thank you for that. That's all I have.
And thank you, John. It is pretty outrageous of this district to have 0 findings. I mean, you've done public housing authorities before, and that's a rarity when you find 0 findings. So that's strictly a credit to the staff, and especially the business staff of the school board. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now we move on to board reports. Curriculum and instruction. I know we had a meeting on that, but I was not in attendance. Chuck, do you have? No, not curriculum, I'm sorry. The policy we had, the meeting, which I wasn't in attendance on. Can you take that one? Diana has it, great.
So the policy committee met on Thursday, December 5th. The policies that are on the agenda tonight are first reading policies. Policy number 3159, teaching staff members, school district reporting responsibilities. This is mandatory, and it's revised so that it indicates in the event that a Board of Education determines that a teaching staff member has failed to report an incident of child abuse pursuant to a tenure charge finding or the teaching staff member's conviction for disorderly persons violation, the board is now required to submit a report outlining their findings to the State Board of Examiners. Policy number 3218, use, possession, or distribution of substance, mandatory. Teaching staff members, and then policy 4218, use, possession, or distribution of substances, mandatory for support staff members. This policy now indicates that in the event that the results of a medical examination and substance test are not provided to the superintendent, the board will treat the test as a positive result for substances. Policy 5517, school district issued student identification cards. This is a new policy. The law permits a board to adopt and implement a policy that may require students to carry an identification card issued by the school district at any school-sponsored off-campus activity, including but not limited to field trips or interscholastic sports programs. Policy number 6112, reimbursement of federal and other grant expenditures. This is a mandatory policy. The revision aligns the policy with New Jersey Department of Education guidance and includes changes such as reimbursement requests may only be for expenditures that have already occurred or will occur within 3 business days of receipt of funds. Policy number 7440, school district security. This is mandatory. This relates to Alyssa's law, and it requires school districts to equip each public elementary and secondary school building with at least one panic alarm school security system effective September 1st, 2019, and that the panic alarm system be directly linked to local law enforcement authorities. Policy 8600, student transportation, which is mandatory, requires that all buses manufactured 180 days after August 25th, 2018 be equipped with certain safety specifications. Policy 8630, bus driver / bus aid responsibility. This is mandatory. This new law requires that within 1 business day after the Commissioner of Education notifies the Board of Education that a school bus driver employed by the board has had their bus driver's license suspended or revoked, the board is required to provide a statement to the New Jersey Department of Education that the school bus driver is no longer operating a school bus for the Board of Education. Policy 8670, transportation of special needs students, which is mandatory. This just changes the wording of disabled to special needs when referring to students with disabilities. And policy 9400, media relations. This is a recommendation of revision, provides guidelines covering cooperation between the media and the school district.
I have a comment on this, actually. It's policy 8600. Actually, we need to look at paragraph 4 between the first and second reading, and we need to do something about that. Because if you go to paragraph 4, there's a fragment of a sentence that makes no sense, and then the rest of it's crossed out. So we just need to get clarified what that's all about, paragraph number 4, by next time. And that's it.
Yeah, just one note as well, the requirements for the notification to law enforcement. So we're already in compliance with that. We have 2 systems. We have a Waze system, which is a panic bar in the main office and that certain staff have, and we also utilize Crisis Go, which our faculty and staff members have mobile access on their cellular devices and can activate that at any time. So we're fully compliant with that. The state has not yet made a determination over what programs will be acceptable, but obviously with both of those, we feel that we'll be fully compliant. And then between first and second read, we'll take a hard look at some of the edits and make sure that it's a clean copy for the second read.
Thank you, Mrs. Capiello, for the precise report. The next committee is going to be Finance. I know that Heshie wasn't at that meeting. I was at the meeting as well as Mrs. Cetera. But for some expertise and a laconic presentation, I'd love to present it to, well, before I start that, Mike, congratulations on your son being up here.
Thanks.
That was
I
awesome,
appreciate
really.
that. Yeah, thanks.
So if you want to talk about the policy meeting, I know much of it went through the auditor, but if there's something else to add.
Yeah, there really wasn't, because the only subject we talked about was Mr. Swisher going over the financial statements, and I mean the only thing we really went in depth on really was the state issue, and also I believe Mr. Asatoli, you brought up federal funding.
Yes.
About what's it, $3 million approximately
yes.
we get. So we had a conversation about how we handle the $3 million in federal funding the district gets. But essentially, it was a very good meeting because, as everybody heard, we got a very good report from the auditors. And that was the only subject that we discussed at the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Messenger. Charlie waved to me before and said that there's nobody signed up for public participation. So, may I have a motion to approve? Oh, what did I miss here? Oh, Mr. Boyce, are there any changes to the agenda that you wish to know?
I have two changes. One is an amendment to G3, approval of appointments. If you could change the effective date for Brian Provo to January 2nd, 2020 through April 8th, 2020. Also, there's an additional item as discussed in executive session. We'll mark it as K5. And I'll read it to the board. Be resolved that the Freehold Regional High School District Board of Education approves the retainer agreement with the law offices of Michael D. Fitzgerald to represent the district in a multi-district litigation against Jewel Labs Incorporated at no cost to the board. So if we could add that as K5 to tonight's agenda.
Okay. Duly noted. Again, Mr. Meglia has notified me that there is nobody signed up for public participation. So, at this point, may I have a motion to approve G1 through K5?
Moved.
Who motion? Diana, second?
Second.
Mrs. Sotera, any discussion? Roll call, please, Sean.
Mrs. Cappiello?
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mr. Moses?
Yes.
Mrs. Sutera?
Yes.
Mr. Esitola?
Yes. Old business. Are there any members wishing to discuss old business? Seeing none, new business.
Just two quick items. One, an update on the new business, the class action suit against Jewel. That's something that we just feel strongly as a school system that we wanted to participate in, to just, if nothing else, make the statement over what we think are the absolute disgraceful effects to teenagers in particular over the past several years, not just certainly in the Freehold Regional High School District, but across the state and the nation, and wanted to make sure that we made a point of that. And secondly, I'd like to congratulate Jason Lippert. Jason, if you could stand up, please. So Jason will be the new academic supervisor for guidance services here at Marlboro High School. He's coming to us with over a decade's experience from the Rumson Fairhaven Regional High School District, so a similar district to our own. And those of you who know, we took our time with that position. We don't fill positions if we don't find the right person for them, and we patiently waited, and we're rewarded because Jason is going to be an excellent addition to the school system. So Jason, welcome.
Thank you. Okay, is there any more old business?
Mr. President, can I ask Dr. Sampson a question?
Sure, of course.
Dr. Sampson, this is actually going back to the school funding formula issue when I was thinking about something. It really is not disclosed how the state comes about divvying out the money. And I know you've talked about in the past, like lawsuits or Freedom of Information Act request to actually find out how they divvy up the money. And I just wanted to know where that was, and did any court ever come down and say the state doesn't have to give the information and can keep it secret forever?
So two threads are happening at this moment in time. The first thread is that there is an active lawsuit involving a number of school districts, ourselves included, with Toms River, the Brick Public Schools, the Jackson Public Schools, and several others, where we've taken the New Jersey Department of Education to court in order to have them disclose how the multipliers are determined, how the funding formula is determined. At first blush, that started out as a massive Oprah request. It was denied on the basis of being proprietary. We've made the argument that we don't believe that how public tax dollars are spent to the billions should be tied up with a proprietary formula, one in which we've questioned, because when we look at it from our own end and when Sean pulls it apart, We've had questions on that for years now. That's something that we've testified before the Senate Assembly and so on about. So that's one thread that was initially denied by the commissioner. We've now appealed that, and we are in court. The second thread that is occurring now is we have dug in with a larger number of school districts from the Support Our Schools movement, of which there are about 95 members presently of school districts that are losing aid, and we are working together to craft a secondary Oprah request that is different than the first, in order to try and force the hand of the state to disclose that in the near future. So those are the two threads that are happening, but presently none of that has been disclosed, which harkens back to my comment earlier, that it puts us in a difficult position to say that we're losing $30 million, but we can't determine just exactly how. When we look at our property wealth over the past decade, it absolutely does not align to the increase in our local fair share. And
So the commissioner said it was proprietary. No judge ruled it was proprietary.
now the manner in which it is, that request travels is first to the commissioner, and he makes a decision, right, and then it's up to us to challenge it. And Mark, you can add anything if I'm missing anything there, but that's the path that it takes, and so it was denied at the commissioner's level. We've appealed it to the courts, and that's gone back and forth over the past couple of months a little bit, and we're hoping for more clarity around what that's going to look like in the coming months.
Okay, any more old business? No? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Second? Second, anyone, to adjourn the meeting? Second, Mrs. Cetera. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.